All right, gang. Today we go over a very interesting theory from a guy on Twitter called, forgive me if I mispronounced this, Mixelli? Let's get into it. All right, so on to the tweet. It says here Pokemon Legends Arceus equals the past, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet equals the present, also Paradox Past and Future. Not sure the relevance of that. Pokemon Legends ZA, future. Yeah, make total sense. All right, let me say this. I don't know about this whole theory, but if it's accurate, let me tell you this. Interesting thing, because think about it. Legends Arceus was set in the past, right? Scarlet and Violet seems to be the present, and then the future? I don't know. ZA? Maybe. I mean, take a look at the Lumiose. I mean, it's definitely not the Lumiose we explored back in Gen 6. Definitely a different Lumiose. So, as far as, you know, in comparison to Gen 6, definitely the future. But in comparison to Scarlet and Violet, I'm not entirely sure. Definitely not the original Lumiose, that's for sure. Definitely not the original Lumiose, that is for sure. So I'm not entirely sure about the ZA being the future classification, but Legends Arceus would definitely be the past. Scarlet and Violet could definitely be the present, but ZA? I don't know about future for ZA. I guess we'll have to see when it comes out, but that is just me. Feels like one of those you'll see when it comes out kind of things. All right, time to go a little off the rails for a second. Think about it. Black and white. Now, I know what you're thinking. Pacer, this is based off Kalos. What are you doing thinking about Unova? But hear me out. Hear me out. This plays into the whole Mixelli past, future, present theory. Think about it. Black and white had two places. One thing was in white, one thing was in black. Black City and White Forest. One seemed to visualize the past, one seemed to visualize the future. Interesting. But what's also interesting is the fact that if you pay close attention to the trailer, you could see two different variations of the map. Yes, a past variant and a future variant. Interesting, I know, but think about it. The past variant of the map, seemingly, looking hand-drawn, and a more futuristic variant of the map. So what if, hear me out, what if you got to travel between the two while building Lumiose City? I don't know. Let me know your opinion in the comments, but if Mixelli is right, then it could be that ZA represents the future, and then we go back to a more Legends Arceus style time, or at least definitely not, the futuristic Lumies, definitely more in the past. And we travel between the two while we're building Lumiose City, then it will eventually become the one we likely start in, which would probably be the more futuristic one. But that's just me. We'd probably start in the more futuristic one and then get sent back to the past one if we were traveling to and from, given that the one they showed us was a more futuristic map. But it is possible that if this were accurate, we could actually start in the past and go to the future. I don't know. Would they do the start in the past thing twice? Once in Legends Arceus, once in ZA? Or will they change it up? Go for a start in a more future type era, as is shown in the trailer with this futuristic map. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think this travel between eras while building Lumiose would make sense? Or not? Do you think Mixelli's theory about the trio of games makes sense? Or not? Let me know your opinions down in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. Alright, gang. In my research, I found something very interesting. Time for a history lesson. Alright, gang. In my research, I have found something very interesting. In the 1800s, parts of Paris were rebuilt, essentially in a sort of development plan. And Legends Arceus is said to have been set, in some theories, in the 1800s or the 1700s, as some have theorized. But what I can say is this: Lumiose City is in Kalos. Kalos is based off France. Lumiose City appears to be based off, you guessed it, Paris. And where are we in ZA? Lumiose City. Think about it. The old map, the new map, Paris being rebuilt in the 1800s. Perhaps this game actually takes place around the same time as Legends Arceus, which would have been the 1800s, and we are doing a Pokemon version of renovating Paris. Let's get into this whole history lesson about the Paris renovation, shall we, to get a little more context. This is going to be interesting. Alright, gang. This is Wikipedia. Now, according to this, forgive me if I butcher this, Haussmann's renovation of Paris was a vast public works program commissioned by French Emperor Napoleon III and directed by his prefect of the Seine, Georges Eugène Haussmann, between 1853 and 1870. It included the demolition of medieval neighborhoods that were deemed overcrowded and unhealthy by officials at the time, the building of wide avenues, new parks and squares, the annexation of the suburbs surrounding Paris, and the construction of the new sewers, fountains, and aqueducts. Haussmann's work was met with fierce opposition, and he was finally dismissed by Napoleon III in 1870. But work on his projects continued until 1927. The street plan and distinctive appearance of the center of Paris today are largely the results of Haussmann's renovation. You must be looking at your screen going, Pacer, I signed up for a Pokemon video, not a history lesson from Wikipedia. But work with me here, gang. Lumiose City seems to be based off Paris, because Kalos seems to be based off France. And what do we seem to be doing? In Paris, in France, or in this case in Lumiose City, in Kalos, we seem to be doing some interesting stuff. Now, if the theories about rebuilding Lumiose City are correct, then this could be exactly what we're doing. This could be set around the same time as Legends Arceus, so 1800s, 1700s, somewhere around there, and we could be rebuilding Lumiose City from the old to the new. Interesting idea, yes? Much like Haussmann was rebuilding parts of Paris in the 1800s into more of what we know today. But hey, personally, I'm not sure what to think until we get more of a information wave from Game Freak, we can't really know for sure, but hey, all I can say is this rebuilding idea does seem cool. And I must say, you add a couple of challenges in there in certain areas. I don't know, maybe in the parks or something, if there are parks involved. I don't know. It's possible. I mean, personally, it would be interesting to see challenges in certain areas as you're rebuilding others. And to get to the next rebuilding area, you gotta face the next challenge. I don't know. Maybe the challenges unlock the building areas, if this theory were correct. I mean, there are a million ways they could go at this, and we have no idea exactly how it's going to go until we see the game. We don't even know if this rebuilding theory is even accurate until we see the game. So I guess we'll see when it comes out, won't we? How will the game play out? We'll see when it gets here. Which, of course, won't be for a while. But maybe Game Freak will drop some hints as to how the game will work in the future. Maybe not. Here's to hoping, right? This is an interesting theory, and I must admit I have no idea what's going to happen, but I do know one thing. It's going to be an interesting game regardless. Let me know what you think is going to happen in Pokemon ZA. And let me know if you think this building Lumiose City theory is accurate. Do you think we're going to rebuild Lumiose City? Like Housemen rebuilt Paris? Or not? Do you think we're going to do something else? If so, drop your theories down in the comments, and who knows, I may do a video on it. Interesting idea, though. Rebuilding Lumiose City from the old to the new. From the old to more of what we see in X and Y. Interesting idea. And I must say, I have no idea what's going to happen, but I do know it's going to be interesting. Let me know what you think it's going to be like down in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe, because it really helps me out. And I will see you in the next one.